All right, we can go ahead and get started. There may be a few more people coming in. Thank you guys for being here. We are super excited for this, our first ticket playbook call of 2025. Moving forward for 2025, these will be monthly. Here in the coming week or so, we will send you guys all a message to let you know the upcoming dates. So we have, I think, Kyra, keep me honest, booked through March on dates on our calendar. And so we'll give you guys those dates and then also the information about what kind of subject we're going to be covering at that time. So you can definitely join whichever ones make sense for you. Feel free to share these with anyone in the industry. They don't have to be a Spinzo client. It can be anyone in the industry. We love having more, the more the merrier. That's where all the good ideas come from and where we can really help each other. As I mentioned, if you're just joining, feel free to throw your name and organization in the chat. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. If you want to jump in, this is a free forum. So, we're going to share some different ideas and things that we are seeing, Kyra and myself, but we want this to be a full discussion between all of you. So I'll quickly introduce myself and I'll pass it to my colleague Kyra. I'm Denise Sickenetter. For those of you that don't know me, I lead sales and service at Spinzo. I've been with Spinzo now for 8.5 years. Doing the math. Prior to that, I did work in the NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball. So go ahead, Kyra.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kyra Pritchard, and I am the Director of Sales and Marketing over at Spinzo. I've been with Spinzo for 8 months, started back in May, but I also come from the team side. Prior to Spinzo, I was the Director of Group Sales at Orange County Soccer Club.
Awesome. All right, so the topic for today was kind of a new year, new ideas, new goals. And so we wanted to kind of bring things to the table of like what we're seeing that's working, ask you guys what you're seeing, talk about some new ideas and new strategies, and maybe if you have some too. But I think first and foremost, probably should set the stage of like kind of where we're at. And typically, I've been in the industry for a while, kind of dating myself, but January can be a tough month because people have just gone through the holidays. They've spent a ton of money on the holiday season. They're looking at their credit card bills and they're going, oh crap, what am I going to do? So they may not always have the extra disposable income to spend on tickets or our events. And so it definitely creates tight budgets. We're all seeing, and I think, we've all seen it, costs are going up, going to the grocery store, things cost a lot more money. So overall, the economy is, and inflation is taking a hit on a lot of people's budgets. We're also seeing that translate into lower tickets overall for some of our teams. And that's a conversation we've had across a lot of different leagues. But depending on the price point, they're not necessarily hurting an overall revenue because their ticket prices are up. So it is definitely a more challenging environment right now, just by nature of time of year, but also with all of the different things that are going on in our world. So, Kyra, I don't know if you want to jump in and give some of the things that we are seeing that are working right now or are gaining traction with some of the teams that we have.
Yeah, so some of the things that we see consistently work, regardless of how the market is, are bundled offers. So anything that includes a ticket plus food and drink, or a ticket and parking, things like family 4-packs. I know Denise can speak to this with 3 kids. Sometimes you don't want to have to think about, okay, I have to buy the game ticket, but then I also have to think about dinner and I also have to think about parking. So anything that makes it kind of easy and presents your buyer with just a bundle of a bunch of stuff. That consistently sells well.
On that one, on the bundled offers, I think too, it's like the justification process is a lot easier. Hey, I know that we're gonna have to eat dinner tonight, but if I can get dinner and a game and that whole package at a reasonable price, okay, we can make the game work because I was gonna have to buy dinner or we were gonna go out to dinner anyway. So I think kind of that. And that's probably my crazy logic, but I think lots of people think that way. Like, hey, if I was already going to have to do that, why not do it with a game,
Right. No, I think half of the ticket buying experience is psychological. So I think if you're fulfilling that need of like, hey, I was going to dinner anyways, then yeah, you're able to easily justify it. Special experiences. So something that I saw recently that was really cool is the Sacramento Kings are doing a Hello Kitty meet and greet where you get to meet Hello Kitty herself, and that was doing really well. I think it came with the exclusive limited time lunchbox as well. So anything where you're capitalizing on just like special iconic characters. Me and Denise were talking earlier, Bluey is all the rage right now. My daughter is obsessed with Bluey, so I don't know if you're seeing anything like that where, you know, you're bringing out these special characters and families are getting really excited to do these special meet and greets or picture opportunities, things of that sort are doing.
There was an entire family wearing Bluey sweatpants on my flight yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon to Miami. The entire family was wearing matching Bluey sweatpants. So
I mean, we have matching Bluey pajamas, so that would probably be us. So yeah, anything like that. I don't know if you guys are seeing anything that's really popular right now, but those have done really well. Another one are our flex packs, which I think we've talked a lot about. But just giving the buyer the opportunity and the flexibility to pick games at their own convenience. It's getting really hard to sell, you know, traditional packages where all the games are selected at the time of purchase. But if you're giving them the flexibility to, hey, here's, you know, two games that you can, or a package of two tickets that you can redeem at any game this season, or a package of 10 tickets that you can redeem at any game this season. Those do really well just because, you know, to Denise's point earlier, you know, families, busy schedules, everything, like it's hard to plan ahead and justify a large package. So that flexibility is really big right now.
yeah.
I think another one is any type of upgraded experience. So anything that feels VIP, sending out a last minute offer to buyers who are already coming to the game, a last minute offer that says, hey, upgrade for $30 to our specialty box or to our special patio area, or you know, specific seating zones, specific gifts that you're, you know, upgrading to. I think those do really well. There's people who are already coming to the game, so why not offer them, you know, a more VIP experience?
Yeah, we've seen the Sacramento Kings. They did, I think we've talked about it on this call. They actually sell now their fan experiences. So the ones that they don't sell as a part of a group or have, you know, tied to season ticket members, or sponsors, they're actually selling them, and they're selling them to single game buyers too. And they're garnering, you know, a lot of money for these individual experiences. So if there's anything that you can take as a part of that, your game or your event or venue, and be able to sell it, we're seeing that people want that. They don't just want just the ticket. So how can you create those things? And that comes down to, it's similar to the, you know, meet and greet with Hello Kitty, and being able to get someone to show up in a Hello Kitty outfit for 2 hours. You know, I think the Kings are selling that for like $125, with the lunchbox and meeting Hello Kitty. Like, I probably wouldn't do that, but there's people out there that are buying it and are really excited about it. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, another cool one that I've seen, I don't know, Dwayne, if you want to unmute and talk about it a little bit, but the Salt Lake Bees do a Sunday brunch, which I thought was really cool. So maybe if you want to speak to it, but basically it's a game ticket that includes, I think, a buffet in your patio area. But that's like another opportunity where, you know, families are wanting to come out and enjoy the baseball game, but also have food included. And it's playing off the Sunday brunch, but that one always does really well. Consistently sells out.
Yeah, that one was really good for us. They planned ahead. We sold out all the time, people wanting to come still at the windows to get it, but because of having to get food, they set a limit on it, but it sold out consistently last season.
That's awesome. Were you seeing a lot of repeat buyers too, Dwayne?
Absolutely.
Yeah, once they get the experience, they're like, this is the way to go. This is the way to see a game.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. I love that idea. And I think for you guys in Kansas City, I mean, that's just something that you guys could, you know, especially baseball, Sunday baseball games, 1 o'clock, you know, having a brunch at 11 o'clock is a great opportunity. So.
Yeah, I think so. We had a meeting, I think like in December and November, and we decided that is like Sunday brunch is like on our promotion schedule. I don't really,
Awesome.
it's like, is it every Sunday?
I think there's like 4 or 5 of them. I know we're doing like a
Mother-
special Mother's Day one because we have a game on Mother's Day.
Okay.
So I know that's a themed brunch, but
Mhm.
we have like 4 or 5 of them on the calendar.
That's awesome. Are they just like at a picnic area then for you guys?
We have like a tent kind of by our stadium that's like inside the stadium, but it's like not,
Mhm.
there's like no chairs, but we can set up picnic tables and stuff. And I think that's where they're planning on having it.
That's awesome. Love it. Excited to hear how that goes for you guys. A couple other things that are working, and we'd love to hear some more from you guys on some of the things that you guys are working on. Anything with like super, like that people are like super passionate about. So some of the things we put out there, like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Marvel, Grateful Dead. So any of those like really trending, you know, kind of, I don't even know what you call them, but just things that people are like so passionate about, that using that and creating something, whether it's like a really exclusive jersey or hat or, you know, I mean, anything. People want, you know, something that's limited, and they want to have, hey, if there was only 150 of these created, I have one. So those seem to work very, very well for us. And we see our teams typically sell those out. Charitable offers, so anything tied to charity. And I think, you know, thinking right now about what's happening in our world, you know, being able to do things that give back to, say, like right now, what's going on in LA with the fires, the Everblades, there was a fallen police officer in their Fort Myers area. So they did a whole promotion around coming to the game. They recognized some of his fellow officers, and a portion of every ticket that was bought through that went to a memorial fund for him, that went back to support the police department. So, you know, anything that can tie into doing greater good, people are still, and again, in their justification system, they can justify, because now I'm doing something good. Collectibles, so the Ducks are doing pin packs. So I know, going back to like pins, that you like literally physical pins, and they're giving out, or it's a package as a part of a ticket, but then there's an opportunity to swap pins. So I know that that's a really big opportunity when, like around the Olympics, I think they do. And I know if you go to Disney, that's a big thing. So, you know, something like that. I mean, I think it, and I mentioned something about taking off with Taylor Swift, but like, can you do friendship bracelet swapping at a game, you know, and create an opportunity that you give out exclusive team or, you know, game bracelets to everyone, and then hey, encourage everyone to wear their bracelets and have a bracelet swapping area in the venue. So that's an option. And then holiday experiences. So while we've gotten through, you know, obviously the holidays, but like the Lunar New Year is coming up, and the Mavericks are doing a huge promotion with that. They have an exclusive hat that's really cool, and they've tied into that entire community, and have created a Lunar New Year night. And I mean, keep me honest, Kyra, I don't know if you looked at the numbers, but I know it was over 300 last I saw. And they were almost sold out of the hats.
I'll have to double check on the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know them off the top of my head, but yeah.
So
was
something
really
like that, some kind of non-traditional. Can you do something really cool for Valentine's Day if you have a Valentine's Day game? You know, there's a lot of those little things. So I'll stop there. Is there any other ideas of things you guys are seeing that are working or are gaining traction? You know, new and different groups or promotions? Anyone? No.
Another
Go
one
ahead.
kind of talked about, at least that's been really popular here, is just heritage nights.
Yeah.
You can attack a lot of different cultures that way. It's been pretty big in not only single game tickets, but group tickets as well. So we have, what is it? Jewish heritage, Italian heritage, Irish heritage, Asian heritage.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 4 or 5 of them at least that we do throughout the year.
Yeah. And
What
it's
do you guys typically give with the night? Like, is there an exclusive item, or
yeah,
what's
so
the pull?
last year it was actually really cool. They get like their own jersey, and like the jersey is tailored to some type of like culture aspect of it. I know that like the Spanish heritage ones, those were really cool. It had like Viva Las Royales. It was like it was some really cool designs. But yeah, it's just kind of designed towards like what their culture is. They did a pretty good job, and I think that's also another reason why it sold so well.
Yeah,
And
do
on
they
the group set-
participate? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna, you said it did really good on single game, but also in groups. So how did you go about, you know, attacking those groups and finding those groups within those?
Yeah, so I didn't work specifically with them, but it was mainly you just have to like find that's like what's it called, that like social, like whoever that leader is in the community that's really passionate about it, And if you like tell them that they're doing this and really get them on board, they really kind of spread it throughout the rest of their community. What did I?
I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it's almost like a commerce or something.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I forget it. Like I don't know. They just really like
Community
found
center type thing.
yeah,
Like they have like the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and like the
yeah,
Yes.
Jewish
and then
Chamber of
like
Commerce. Yeah, okay.
yeah, then there's a huge list of like people. They all get together and then they tell their teams and their restaurant. Yeah, it's a pretty big one.
Do they get to do anything specific in game? Do you guys offer in-game elements, or is it just the jersey and the ticket package?
That's a good question. So it's a little bit of give and take with our activation teams. Some stuff that they will have like blocked off, and then they will go out in the community and find like single people to do it.
Mhm.
However, if a group is like a anchor group is what what we call them, that is just really like proactively marketing this night for us, like setting up the FIBA link, we'll have them be like an honorary like first pitch, maybe a little bit like group of the game, and they'll get on
Hot
our
dog race.
hot dog race, some type of just kind of varies depending on what our activation team lets us have.
Got it. Cool. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, those are good. Heritage Nights are another, again, people have a feel like a tie to that community, and I mean, going back to like super fandom, it's fandom in a different way, but they definitely have like a pull and a tie to their community and want to support them no matter what. So,
Yeah.
any other ideas that are working? No? Well, we can give you some ideas, some new strategy ideas that we were brainstorming. So, the thought process is if you want different results, you got to do things that are different. You got to jump outside your comfort zone. So a couple things that we were putting out there. One thing is viral moments. Like, how do you create these really cool, unique moments? And while this isn't necessarily tied to ticket sales, I think there's a way it could be. But I live in Detroit, and obviously the Lions are a big deal here right now. People are very excited. I don't know if anyone's seen this bakery that created a replica cake of Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he had done, what?
It's a life-size cake.
It is literally life size. He had done a touchdown dance, and he basically like went onto his head. So he's literally upside down. So this bakery recreated it and put it in their window. And January for bakeries is awful time frame. But it's height of the playoffs, height of excitement around the Lions. They put this cake in their window, and it is literally, I mean, they have a line down the street of people trying to take pictures with it, selfies with it. Amon St. Brown himself came to the bakery and took pictures with it. He is now raffling off 2 tickets to the playoff game on Saturday for anyone that buys at the bakery. So like, how do you create some fun things like that? Like, could you create a cake contest, or, Kyra and I were talking about like, is it cake is always like the exciting. And I don't know if anybody watched the Chiefs game on Christmas Day, but they had footballs that after the game that literally looked like cake, and they were eating them. They looked like footballs, but they were cake and they were eating them. Sorry. Bear with me. I'm not 100% today, but like, how do you do those kinds of cool things? I think being able to engage with small businesses in the marketplace, and for this bakery, this literally blown their business away, because people are now buying baked goods to enter to win, when normally in January, everyone's like, nope, I'm done. I'm not eating any of this stuff. I'm not doing any, I'm eating healthy. And so it's been life-changing for them, but it was a creative idea from their team. So I think that's one thing. Kyra, what else?
Hyper targeted offers as well. We were thinking like, do you approach your out of town buyers if you're going to have a double header, and you're going to, hey, buy this game, buy Friday, Saturday package, you're going to be in town anyways. Or are you targeting your high spenders? Are you looking to see, where are your high spenders coming from, and giving a super specific premium package offer to them? You guys kind of mentioned it earlier, but those special communities like super groups, like Facebook groups, Reddit groups, the Chamber of Commerce groups, like anybody who's going to be just like your avid cheerleader, how are you creating hyper specific offers for them? And your repeat buyers, how are you creating specific offers for your repeat buyers to encourage them to come back? But not just that, also share those with their network, see what other groups they're a part of. Because if you have buyers that are consistently coming back, odds are they're a part of other groups, and they're going to share the word with other groups. any kind of FOMO marketing, you had to be there kind of playing off the viral moment type of thing. You know, the fear of missing out, like, oh, I want to be at the game this weekend because X, Y, and Z is happening, or this awesome, you know, trending moment happened and I wasn't there and I missed it. So really capitalizing on those viral moments and making it that FOMO marketing, I think is doing really well right now.
Player and team accomplishments. So like,
Yeah.
how can you take into, you know, and even if you have a new player or someone hits an accomplishment, or, you know, I've even seen, you know, like zip code, not zip code, area code day, you know, so like I live in Detroit, 313. So, you know, on March 13th, can you do some special things around that? Could you, I saw we had a team that did a $20.25 tickets to start out the new year. So again, some of that's passed right now, but like, you know, how do you create some of those interesting plays on numbers to create some offers that are appealing to people because they're for a limited time only, and they play off as something that ties to your business.
Yeah, I think I was just looking up. The Colorado Rapids did a half price ticket, courtesy of Zach Steffen, their goalie, and the tickets were placed, you know, right behind the goal. And so playing off things like that, like if there's any specific player accomplishments or milestones that your team has hit, kind of creating an offer and then playing with the numbers, like Denise said, like a 619 deal or a 714 deal or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are all California
And
areas, but
then I think it comes down to partnering. Like, who can you partner with that you can leverage? I mean that in the nicest way. Leverage their audience too. You know, so you know, I think whether that be you know sitting here as a manager level on the call or even as a sales rep, like, are there local organizations that you can work with where there can be some sort of partnership, you know, that creates a fun environment. You know, can you do, like, I was just actually, I was literally in Miami yesterday and came back today, but talking to the gentleman at the Memphis Grizzlies, and he was talking about, you know, the barbecue championships in Memphis. Like, can you do your own, like, hey, who has bring the best barbecue, or a chili cook-off tied to a game? You know, like, there's some creative things that you can do around things that people get excited about.
and along with partnership is going back to like representation, especially for like the heritage nights, partnering with like local artists for the giveaway or the exclusive item. I think that's really meaningful right now, and I think it, you know, brings a big strong community tie. So being also very intentional with who you're partnering with, especially in times of like crisis and things like that are going on right now, I think those are really important.
Mm-hmm. Any other ideas that you guys are putting together for this year, or you want to throw out that you can get some advice on, or say, hey, we're thinking about this? Has anyone ever done this? No? Anyone have questions for the group? Or for Kyra and I? Okay, hopefully, maybe you got one idea out of this, out of us sharing, or something to start your, you know, your wheels a turning and giving you some food for thought. We will have another session in February. I forget what our
I
topic
believe
was.
it's February 14th.
No, it's not. It's not. Is it really 14th? It's a Friday.
Maybe I'm wrong. February 12th.
February 12th. So
February
we'll be
12th.
back February 12th. We'll send you guys the link. And our topic, Kyra, do you remember?
And I believe it's gamifying your groups.
So gamifying your groups. We'll talk all about how do you create, you know, and get your groups excited and competing against each other with different tools or different types of things that you can put out there that really help drive urgency and drive volume with your groups through some different tools. So that will be our next session. If you have any ideas on sessions that you'd like to have or questions you'd like to pose to the industry, please let us know. Share this with your friends. The more people on here, the more ideas we get to share. So we hope to see you all back in a month. Thank you guys for your time.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Denise.